Yo, what's up? I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel of RWBY Mythology. So yeah, today I'm going to give you guys part 2 of What If Jaune Died Instead of Pyrrha. Before I continue on, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell for more RWBY content. That shows and means a lot to me that you guys want to see more RWBY content on this channel. And also, if you guys have not seen the last previous part, go check that out before you guys come over here because this story will not make any sense to you. So, yeah. So basically, I think the first part I did was pretty good job. I really did how I went with it, and thank God I used the manga for referencing and all that stuff. But I had the manga with me just in case if I want to mention something or anything like that. But apparently not. But I'll still might use it in the future parts as well. So, there's something I want to go over. Whatever happens between Crow, Oscar, Yang, and Blake, all that remain the same. And I want to mention that. The only thing will be mentioned is the team and Weiss. Weiss has... I'm going to be bringing up Weiss in this part and the next part. After the next part, whatever happens to Weiss after will be the same. So, yeah. Just want to clear out of the way. And also, I forgot to mention, whatever happens with the villains will still the same. That will never change. So, yeah, I just want to clear out of the way. And, well, like I said, with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get to this part 2 of this scenario. And of course, we started this story where we see 3 members of Team Juniper, or known as Team Rain, because I think it seems a lot more better. And they're just, well, Rain and Nora are discussion about the team names, and Pyrrha is still wearing that same black cloak to hide herself because she still doesn't like to reveal her face, and especially when it comes to being around in the village, she doesn't like people seeing her because the recognize of the final festival, because she doesn't want to be recognized because of that. So basically, no, Pyrrha doesn't have both her shield and Jaune's weapon. The only weapon that she has with her is her gun transformed to a spear and a sword. That's the only thing she had at this point. Of course, later on, we see RWBY fighting against that, whatever the Grim is, and basically, it goes out the same. I'm not going into the fight. It goes out the same as usual, but it ended really quickly because you have Pyrrha involved, and her skill as a fighter is pretty useful, and it ended up really well, honestly. And we move into the village where the same area with the blacksmith, where Pyrrha got her shield upgrade, Jaune's weapon upgrade, and her armor upgrade. So, RWBY asks, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" And Pyrrha said, "Yes, I'm sure of it. But I'm just wondering," and Pyrrha said, "It's already done, RWBY. It's already done." So, her new outfit is the same thing, but more armor to it. She still has the same outfit that she has, but it's like a smooth armor. And she does have the smooth shoulder armor to cover her skin, and her spear was already upgraded way before they fight against that Grim. Pyrrha upgraded Jaune's weapon to be more the same thing, just like in the original. And Pyrrha's shield also had a new emblem, which is, Pyrrha's emblem, right? The circle and had the spear. Replace the circle and add Jaune's emblem. Spear, the symbol of Pyrrha, and Jaune. That's her emblem. Her new emblem. And the color of the emerald is well, crimson, gold to represent Jaune. Her new upgraded suit is bronze, gold, and red outfit armor. And so basically that's her new look and all. So after that they heads off to, well, obviously head down to Haven Academy. And now cut into Weiss. Weiss is in her room alone. She feels guilt and despaired because that night. She felt guilt about what she said that night. And that thought has been in her mind. She keeps reliving the memory of what she told to RWBY. He'll be fine. Right now we have to deal with these Grimm. He can handle this. And she was wrong. Saying that caused Jaune's life. And Weiss looks to her scroll and sees all the contacts, all the texts, missed calls, etc. And she listened to one of them. Listen and hear Jaune's voice. It just made Weiss the tear. Not like, whipping and crying. Maybe a little. She does cry. Tears coming out of her eyes. And she still have that guilt. That is all because of her. If she just listened to RWBY or whatever, Weiss could have stopped Jaune. And Jaune could have helped them to defeat the Grimms. And all three of them could save Pyrrha. But Weiss refused that Jaune should just go. And also, I just want to say right now, if you guys heard that in the back, is thunder and lightning right now. So, just want to clear that out of the way. But anyway, she was about to throw her scroll, but she couldn't. She couldn't. Until she hear a door knock. She stopped playing the voicemail. She put her scroll away, and she wiping off the tears from her eye and said, "Enter," which reveals to be Klein. And Klein says that your father would like to see you in his office, Miss Schnee. And Weiss says, "Thank you, Klein." And Klein see Weiss getting up and head down to the door where Klein is at. And Klein asks, "Is there something wrong, young Weiss?" And Weiss said, No, I'm fine. Thank you." And Weiss just leaves her room and walks off and head down to her father's office. And that's a little bit for Weiss right now. So basically, whatever happened to Weiss with her father goes out the same. No more, no less. Now, cut back with Team Rain. It's nighttime. Instead of just seeing the place that we know, we see that RWBY is having a dream. She's dreaming about the day that she met Jaune. The first day at Beacon. It was heartwarming until the era changed where Beacon is goes into flame, Grimm attacking, and she's dreaming that she saw Jaune died by Cinder in Pyrrha's arm. And we hear RWBY herself screaming, "Jaune," and everything went white. RWBY wakes up, and she sits up, cold sweat coming down her face. She looks around and sees Pyrrha still awake, sitting behind a tree, still hiding herself in that cloak. RWBY gets up and go sit next to Pyrrha. And Ruby asked, couldn't sleep? And Pyrrha said, yeah. You? Yeah, couldn't sleep either. And, Pyrrha asked, do you think all of this is my fault? And Ruby was caught off guard about this question. And Ruby was like, what do you mean? I'm asking you, is it my fault? The day that happened, the loss of Penny, that I fought Cinder alone, that cost John's life, what I did, was it my fault? Was it my fault to choose that I chose to be the next Fall Maiden? Was it all this my fault that began fall? And Ruby felt like she got hit in the gut. She doesn't know what to say. And Pyrrha said, that's what I thought. Pyrrha was about to get Ruby gets up and said, no, it's not your fault, Pyrrha. None of this was your fault. It was her. Cinder. She did all of this. And Pyrrha said, you're wrong. Everything is my fault. You heard those people that were protecting the village. Remember that day? And Ruby remembered the day where her, Pyrrha, Nora, and Ren were facing the Grim and protect the village. You know, if you guys remember, and in the comic takes place right before Volume 4, where Team Ranger came across a village that were highly protected, and they did not want nothing to deal with the Huntresses and Huntsmen, because what happened to Beacon. Well, in that scenario, they all blame on Pyrrha. And Pyrrha was hiding herself, and they do not know that the Black Cloak is Pyrrha. The person said, this is all that red-haired famous bitch's fault. What's her name? Pyrrha Nikos? It's all her damn fault that everything happened. That lost that little girl who was a robot. She caused the fall of Beacon. When it was worse, she caused her team leader to die because she fought the enemy that she couldn't win. And look what that happened. Y'all, the team Juniper's leader died because of her. And this did infuriated the Team Rain, but Pyrrha was like the only one felt the sadness. But Ren and Nora were infuriated. Even Ruby is infuriated as well. And we enter the flashback where Ruby said, yeah, I remember. And Pyrrha said, they were right. All this is because of me. Because I chose to be a Fall Maiden. And look what that happened. Cinder became the Fall Maiden. Ozpin's dead. Beacon fell. John died because of me. All of this is my fault. And Pyrrha just walks off and says, good night, Ruby. And before Pyrrha about to walk off, she realized there's one thing she didn't ask. And Pyrrha asked me this. And Ruby said, and that is, she turns back to Ruby face to face and she asks, do you believe in destiny? And Ruby only could say 3 words. I don't know. And Pyrrha just turns around and kept on walking. She kept on walking until she went the same area that the place where John was practicing his skill, just like the original. we see Pyrrha remove her cloak, throwing down in the log, the same log that Jaune used for his scroll. When she plays her cloak down, she pulls out her scroll and plays the last video of, well, what Pyrrha said. Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. And we hear Pyrrha's voice when she said, "Alright, Jaune, just like we practiced. Follow these instructions. Shield up," and Pyrrha used Jaune's weapon instead of hers. "Keep your grip tight. Don't forget to keep your left foot forward. Ready? Go." And she does exactly as that. And the video goes on and on. And we hear Pyrrha's word, how she really feels about Jaune, just like in the original. Nothing has changed. But we do get to hear how Pyrrha, how she really feels. There's a video recording of herself. She said, "Hi there, Jaune. So these are basic training videos. There aren't really any good ones. So I figured it'd be better if I just made one. And besides, a video just for you will be way more effective than one for a Bond audience." It feels kind of weird. I never filmed myself before. Alright then, let's get to it. We'll start with a defense. First, pick up your shield, then we hear how Pyrrha really feels in her mind. And she said, "Oh, right. I can at least send the video I promise. Figure he'll never forgive me anyway. I'm sorry, Jaune. This isn't how I wanted to say goodbye." And that's what she said in the video. Well, not really. After she spars, she looks at the message that she sent to Jaune. And when she reads them, she tries her best not to tear up. Just like how Jaune tried not to. And after doing follow these instructions, she decided to drop her shield, put Jaune's sword away, but turn it into like a big sword. And Pyrrha, you grab her weapon and turn her gun into her sword, and she's practicing her new fighting skill, which is dual wielding. So yeah, the reason why I want to do that, because I definitely could see Pyrrha could be a dual wielder herself, because if she is skilled as a fighter with and without her weapon, and she is skilled with a shield and sword and a spear and a gun, I definitely could see her be a skillful as a dual wielder. So that's the idea I wanted to go with. And ever since then, RWBY was there watching Pyrrha the entire time. Pyrrha didn't know that she was followed. But she did. Let me refuse that. She did know, but she just ignored it. So RWBY goes back and heads back to sleep. Now moving on to the next day, where we're at the village where it was attacked, where Ren came across one of the huntsmen was badly injured and died, and both Ren and Nora, Ren was frustrated, Nora is trying to comfort Ren, and they both see a footprint of the Neclavine. And RWBY is just don't know what to say, and Pyrrha is just looks away, but behind that cloak, a bit of tear come down of her eye. She just cannot see this at all. Now, cut back to Weiss. We see Weiss in the stage singing, not like the one you know in canon, but the song that she's singing is, well, sadness, guilt, and despair. The song of it, actually. And of course, the party is still the same, just like the original. Nothing has changed. So, moving on. And of course, Team Rain came across the same village where, when Ren placed his hand towards to his team to know that someone is coming, and he pulls out his weapon and everyone else do the same, and then Tyrian came, attacked Ren, so basically everything goes out the same. And RWBY said, like, what do you want? Like, what this is about? The White Fang? Roman torturing? That scene goes out the same, just like the original. And Tyrian says, I'm not here for you, pointing out Ren, and you, pointing out Nora, and maybe, wait a minute, you do interest in me, looking at Pyrrha, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, I know you, you're Pyrrha Nikos. Oh, I am such a fan. I am impressed of your work, and that's the reason why I'm a huge fan. Oh, the way you did at the beginning was such entertainment, but it would be more entertaining if there were blood involved. But sadly, that girl that you killed was just a robot. And Pyrrha is just infuriated on it, and Tyrian said, no, I'm not here for three of y'all, I'm here for you, pointing at RWBY. She's like, me? And basically that goes out the same, where they refuse to give RWBY to Tyrian, and basically, Ren and Nora and RWBY, they both get their butt kicks. But with Pyrrha on the hand, Tyrian is, well, enjoying it, because he never had a good fight like this. But at the same time is, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting annoying by this. And if that would be interesting though. A versus matchup video. Pyrrha Nikos versus Tyrian. I might do that. That would be interesting now that I think about it. But, yeah. When Tyrian saw how skilled Pyrrha is, he knows not to underestimate her of her skill. And there's a time where hold that thought, you guys. Sorry about that, everyone. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Right. So yeah. The fight between Pyrrha and Tyrian. Pyrrha is getting tired of it. She couldn't keep up. Tyrian is fast for Scorpion Faunus, and her aura does get a little flicker sometimes, but she's still gonna keep on fighting. She's still steady, barely tired, but Tyrian decided to, keep on going and knock her out, but not knock out Cole. After that, Tyrian goes after RWBY. Sorry, I got a little bit hiccup. And basically, Tyrian give RWBY the same whoop ass, just like in canon. RWBY's aura breaks, and Tyrian is about to poison RWBY, and until Crow came in and saved RWBY just like the original. And RWBY looks up and see her Uncle Crow, and she smiled. Even Crow just smiled with a chug. Hey, kid. And that is where I'm going to end this part right here. I'm sorry it took me forever to get back of the recording because, well, things happen. But anyway, I'm glad I got to the ending point. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channels, my social media, and my Discord server will all be down below. So you guys know all the shenanigans. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. RWBY is love. RWBY is life. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you guys later.